Hello everyone, and welcome to a video that's going to show you very quickly how Pair Trade Finder Pro version 1.3.8, our latest version, integrates with interactive brokers for data and also for semi-auto trading. So this is the watch list of Pair Trade Finder open right now, and I have a lot of pairs on this watch list, maybe almost 200. And this is acting as a 24/7 market radar for whenever the divergence between two pairs reaches 2 standard deviations, it will call an entry signal, and whenever it reaches the exit stretch, which I've defined, which is 0 standard deviations, it will call an exit signal. Now, you can use 3 different data sources as it is in Pro, and that's IQ feed, Yahoo feed, which is free, and interactive brokers. If you have an interactive brokers account, you would go to the interactive brokers API, you enable the Trader Workstation data feed, and there's a very quick tutorial video you can watch about how to integrate Pair Trade Finder with TWS, which needs to be open on your desktop, which my TWS is open here. Okay, it's about 5 seconds of how to do that. It's a very simple procedure, just to make sure the two are talking to each other. Now, once they're talking to each other, you choose, if you want a semi-auto trade, you enable the semi-auto trade, and we leave 2 possibilities for orders. You can have a limit plus limit order, or we have a special type of order called a pair trade order, which is a limit on the short leg, and then once the short leg is 100% filled, it's market on the long leg. So this is one-click execution, very, very fast, and we use it all the time. We like it a lot. Then underneath here you'll see another box which says confirm semi-auto trade orders in PTF Pro before sending to Trader Workstation, and that's by default checked. We want you to confirm your trades in Pair Trade Finder before you zip them off to your broker, where you're going to have to reconfirm them. That's why it's semi-auto trade. Now, however, if you want to disconnect this this function, you just unclick this, and every time a trade signal is generated by Pair Trade Finder Pro, it will be sent automatically to the API screen of your Trader Workstation, which is this one here, okay? And you can just do one-click execution there. Now, so let's go through quickly how we would make that happen. So this has been set up to get data and to semi-auto trade. You can test the link. It's going through the TWS port, and unfortunately, let me see if I can move this. Yeah, I can. If I hit test link, testing IB link says connected to IB successful, and down in the bottom right we have a little button here that says IB connection, and you can see it's green. If you're with IQ, you do the same with IQ feed, and if you're with any other broker platform that we may add, it would have one of these as well. So we're successfully connected, and let's just go quickly to trading signals, because here there's 2 trading signals today. These are entries that were called, but I'm going to go to the trading signals tab right here. This goes back right now to the 14th, so it's a week back, and we have 3 exits, and we have a bunch of entries as well. Now, I've built all the PTF top 30 US equities pairs in interactive brokers data feed, so what I can do, if they were to happen as we were doing this video, you'd see a pop-up and you could send it to IB to be executed. But we've built in 1.3.8 the ability to resend it market. So if I get to my screen late and I see that there's an exit's been called, like let's say it was the 15th, and this exit's been called, 491 profit, I would say I'd hit resend it market. I get a trade alert, IB order send confirmation, tells me the trigger settings, the ratio at the trigger, the current ratio to see whether you're very close to where the original signal was. It's an exit, and it tells you what you're going to do. You're going to buy to close this one at this limit price, this number of shares. You're going to sell to close this one at this limit price, this number of shares. If I say send trade, okay, it automatically has sent it to IB TWS, and you'll see it immediately come up in the API. So these are these 2, these are the quantities, and this was the limit price on both of these. Now, it hasn't traded anything yet. I need to hit transmit, and you should always check to make sure your details are correct. But that is how we semi-auto trade with Pair Trade Finder Pro into interactive brokers. And one other thing I'll show, because we think it's a great feature, is the pair trade order type. So if we were going on an entry, let's take an entry, ABBLI. If we resend this at market, so you'll see here it's sell short this number of shares at this price, and then buy long this ticker, and the shares are approximately this number for approximately this much capital because it will be done at market. And the trigger and the current ratio are the same, so believe it or not, that would still be potentially a good entry. You'd have to check pair charts. But if I send that trade, so I hit send trade, I go to my API, and here we see it. And we see it as one click, because if I hit transmit on the sell, I'm not going to do it because it's 10,000 a leg. If I hit transmit on the sell, it will immediately short it at that limit, and if it gets filled, it immediately does the long order as well. And when you're doing that on live trading basis, and you've just had the signal come up in Pro, usually that order fills once you hit transmit within a second. So that's how we do it, and that's how we've integrated with interactive brokers. And we don't have in PairTrade Finder any portfolio manager, and we don't track anything from your broker portfolio screen. We just do the trading signals. So we'll send them over to your live account, both entries and exits, but that's the extent of the integration at that point. We also, as we mentioned earlier, we pull the real-time data into Pro from interactive brokers. And that you can see by every time you create a group for back testing. Let's say we want a Coke, Pepsi, and we need to select quotes feed. Here you can select interactive brokers for both historical. There's a little thing here talking about how much data you pull down. And then if you do that, those are IB. And, okay, it already exists, give it another name. And if I do that, I go here, type in Coke, I type in Pepsi, gather back data for 2 years, add symbols. Now this is connected to IB, and it's pulled these symbols straight out of IB and created this group. Then I can go into our backtester, and we go to the group we just defined, CoPep2, go like this. These two symbols are here, and now it will backtest using the IB data over the period that we've defined and with the parameters we've defined, and it'll give you the results. Obviously not a great pair to trade, as you can see. The group settings we use were a 1 exit stretch and a 2 entry stretch over a 1 year period. Okay, those can all be modified. But this data is all coming through IB from Trader Workstation API, and it's real time. If you save this pair onto a watch list, as all of the PTF top 30 US equities pairs are, these are all pulling every 3 or 5 minutes fresh data and updating on the watch list, and that's real-time data from IB. So that's how it works between PairTrade Finder Pro and Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation. Hope you enjoyed the video.